Well, welcome to episode number 15 of the Bettis Musgrove Show. As always, I'm your host, Ben Musgrove. This is my law partner, Spencer Bettis. We own and operate a boutique law firm in Cumming, Georgia, where we specialize in personal injury. And we started this podcast several months ago just to give the general public an idea of what we do as personal injury lawyers and introduce the public to the community that we live in. And today we're doing something a little different. We've taken the podcast on a road trip here, first time that we've ever tried this. I'm very excited about it. We're at Bottoms Tree Farm. And we're joined by Matthew and Nathan Bottoms, who own and operate this farm along with their family. And want to hear a lot about them and how they're involved in the community and what the farm does and what they do for a living, et cetera. So, guys, I'll turn it over to you. Matthew, why don't you kick us off? Just tell us who you are, where you came from, that type of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me start by saying, Ben and Spencer, thanks for having us on here.
Yeah, man.
Glad for your first on-site visit to be here at the farm. Glad to have you. I am Matthew Bottoms, along with my brother and our parents. We own and operate Bottoms Christmas Tree Farm, which I know we'll get into a lot of the history of that. Nathan and I both grew up on the farm, have lived here our entire lives here in North Forsyth. We both went through the school systems here in North Forsyth, Coal Mountain and North Forsyth High School. And throughout the year, we are out here on the farm working, getting it ready for the Christmas season, which is coming up here next few days. So
Yeah, when do you guys open the farm for business?
So it's Saturday, November 23rd.
Okay.
Will be our first day, and we're open all of Thanksgiving week, Monday through Saturday of Thanksgiving week, 9 to 6. We're always closed on Sunday, so come out and see us.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell us about you guys, and Nathan, chime in whenever you want to. Growing up in Forsyth County, now both of you are professionals that work here in Forsyth County. Nathan, I know you got the cabinet business. And Matthew's a lawyer, like the rest of us here on the podcast. So tell us a little bit about that, how you guys grew up here, what it's like working here, living here, raising a family here, the whole 9 yards.
Forsyth County is just home, North Forsyth especially, which the whole community changing, growing, the whole county. Certainly it's a lot different. The schools that our kids go to are a lot different than what we went to and how we grew up, but we love it and we love the community. Growing up on the farm was fantastic. School bus, drive through subdivisions and drop you off at your farm.
Right.
You get all this land to play on. There's always a golf cart or a four-wheeler or something to ride and get stuck in a creek. Never played inside, didn't grow up on a computer. We didn't even have satellite TV or internet when we were growing up. We just played outside. So
That's perfect childhood.
Yeah, it is. It's something that's missing today, for sure. But
And my kids come by here every morning on the school bus, and they tell me about it every day when they get home. See you guys out here messing around.
we still mess around. Me and Matthew still get into a little trouble, and our kids do for sure.
How long has the Bottoms family been in Forsyth County?
Oh. We started, some of our kinfolk started Zion Hill Baptist Church
Okay.
125 plus years ago.
Yeah.
So, centuries, decades and decades. We bought the farm in 1994.
Okay.
We bought it. We lived in Cumming and then moved here when I was 7, Matthew was 2.
Okay.
And then we've been here. I moved away for a couple years when we got married. Matthew moved away for some college. That law school that y'all three took part of.
Yeah.
Moved away for some law school that we both have built, and Matthew's building here on the farm this year. So it's always been home.
I think it's amazing that you got the whole family living here on one property. It really is. And my family lives out in West Georgia, so I get to see them once a month or so. But to be able to see them every day and share the same property, that's just cool. And then have the livelihood here on the same property as well. I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah, it is. It's a blessing that we sometimes we take it for granted.
Yeah.
Certainly. But at the end of the day, kids have the kids and grandkids. It's third generation on the farm now.
Yep.
So you're seeing the benefits. You're seeing what you sort of missed as a kid, what you took advantage of as a kid through your own kids.
Except now they've got satellite TV and internet.
They do have satellite TV. We got to watch those Braves sometimes.
That's right. We're gonna get into that. I promise you.
Yeah. So they do have high-speed internet and satellite television now, but still make them go outside as much as possible and work.
Yeah.
And play and have fun.
That's good. When did you guys actually start working on the farm?
I mean, it was really forever, I guess. Now, I don't really remember not working on the farm.
Cheap labor.
Right.
Yeah.
But as far as seriously involved, 2014, I guess, is when, we became partners, or it kind of treated it as more of a full-time job versus just a hobby or something to do when we had time. And it's crazy how the farm has changed and how the business has changed. I can remember as a kid getting off the school bus, and the farm's always kind of traditionally been open 3 to 6 during the week after Thanksgiving.
Right.
And for whatever reason, that day, I was probably 8, 10, 11 years old. I was the one running the farm. Nobody else was here. And I can remember selling trees, to customers, and it was me. Like, I was the guy that handed them saw to go out in the field, and then the guy that, took their money, and the guy, so that's comical to look back on as far as how, where we started and how we've grown. But as far as working on the farm, I mean, that's always been part of who we are and something that we really love doing. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's your real job, being an attorney or working the farm.
Depends on the time of year. So no, we juggle them both pretty successfully, and Nathan as well. And you've already heard Nathan, while we're talking about being a lawyer, you've already heard Nathan make one lawyer joke.
Right.
Nathan, lawyers are not Nathan's favorite people. He's not very impressed by the company he's keeping today. So
Yeah.
we'll probably fit a couple of more lawyer jokes in here.
Well, and
Let's do it. Yeah.
you should tell your dad's a lawyer too, and you're a lawyer. Yeah. That's great.
I got a funny story. So Matthew and I went to law school together, and we were on the best flag football team the world has ever seen. But I'll never forget one night.
Allegedly.
Yeah, well, fair enough. We did lose in the playoffs. But one night Matthew goes up to catch a ball and then comes down and hits on the other player, and then all of a sudden we look at Matthew and it looks like he's missing a tooth. So
Looks like he's missing tooth. It was missing.
it looked like it.
On the ground.
It was not missing. In fact, we spent quite a lot of time looking for a tooth. Matthew's bleeding, and then come to find out that his jaw had split.
Oh my Lord.
What looked like a broken tooth was where my jaw split, and so that was first semester of law school. Not the time you want to break.
Like right before finals.
Right.
Yeah.
You had to wire your mouth shut.
I had to wire my mouth shut
Oh.
for weeks. For Thanksgiving and Christmas, Nathan and I went to our sister's house for Thanksgiving dinner, and she had pureed turkey and dressing and macaroni.
The best part of that whole story was at 2 a.m. after I drove Mom and Dad down to the Macon County Regional Hospital, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
The entire flag football team was in the hospital. So we show up, and the little sweet older attendant lady said, "I'm sorry, there's only 2 visitors per, 2 family members allowed, and all his brothers are already in there." And I'm thinking that's his only brother going, "Wait a minute, I'm his brother." I know there's like 6 brothers in there.
That's fantastic.
So they wouldn't let Mom, Dad, and me into the back room until they kicked out the flag football team.
There you go.
Yeah.
It was a good flag football team, though. I feel like there's a personal injury story worked in there somewhere.
You got the lawyer.
We could have sued somebody. That's great.
But, well, tell us a little bit about your law practice, too. We'll hit on that for a second.
Yeah, so I've been at Bowling Rice since we graduated in 2018. We do a lot of real estate closings, residential, commercial, and then also a lot of estate planning and probate. We've got some attorneys that kind of specialize just in, the real estate or the estate planning. I kind of do both. My time spent pretty evenly between real estate closings and title work versus, the probate and estate planning stuff.
Which you like better, real estate or estate planning?
Depends on the day.
Yeah.
I like having them both because it can break up the monotony of just doing nothing but reviewing title work and doing real estate closings all day, or doing probate and just doing estate planning stuff all day. So
Yeah.
it's a nice balance there of enough to break out the monotony of the day to day.
Yeah.
Law life.
When we talked about your dad being a lawyer, Spencer's dad, obviously a lawyer. Is that why you went into it, or what made you go to law?
Yeah, I always had that idea
Yeah.
in my head, but I guess probably because Dad was a lawyer. After high school and college, I was an average student. I took the LSAT and I did pretty well on that, and I was like, well, what the heck, if that's pretty good, maybe I'll do well in law school.
I resemble that remark. Yeah. Pretty average all the way around. Hey, let's go.
I remember in law school, we had our group of guys, which was the flag football team, and Matthew would set up a class and teach us the course without ever looking at a book when it came time to study for finals. So you have some kind of like photographic memory or something like that.
I don't know about that. I think I actually just paid attention in class.
Did I go up in class? It helps.
But no, it was fun, and like anything, law school can be tough. Life can be tough, but if you've got a good group of friends,
Yeah.
Spencer and like the other guys we had, it makes anything more enjoyable. And to this day, Spencer and I still keep up with those guys, and still, and so that's special and nice to have that group of friends and whatever you're doing.
Yeah. So Nathan, tell us why you didn't go to law school and how you ended up in cabinets and trees instead.
Let me say this podcast. It's legal talk here. I did not like school. Dad pretty much made me go get a degree. I actually worked for Spencer's family right out of high school at the lumber yard.
Okay.
Worked today's hardware. I've always worked with my hands. Never been much of a reader.
Yep.
A comprehender.
Yep.
I like books on tape if I have to read something. So I actually my full-time, like my insurance and my full-time job is Leon Jones Trucking.
Okay.
But my other full-time would be cabinets. I started in 2020, right during COVID. Everybody started remodeling. I've always built furniture and custom pieces, tables, end tables, things like that. So I've started a cabinet shop in my basement, and then I moved to my 2-car garage and into a shop now. So it's grown with the county, I guess you would say.
And we joked earlier, I'd drive by here at 2 o'clock in the morning. You're out there building cabinets.
My slogan is we're open 24/7.
Yeah.
We are installing in about 2 hours after this podcast.
Okay.
We do. We work weird hours. You just sort of make it work, but it's not work. It's something I enjoy. So
That's cool.
I've never worked a minute in my cabinet shop. I enjoy every minute of my cabinet shop. It's the reason I like it. But school was not for me.
Yeah.
I was 4 years. I went to North Georgia, and I asked the lady the first day what's the easiest degree to get, and she said middle grades education. So I'm certified to teach your children.
Look, you heard it here first. That's fantastic.
Just insulted probably 1% of the listening base here.
Yeah. All five of our teacher listeners are mad right now.
Oh, it's a good subject.
Well, let's talk about something else you love. Let's get back onto the farm. So you guys have been here forever doing this. Tell us about what it takes to grow a Christmas tree, how long that takes, what all you guys have here in terms of trees, that kind of thing.
So we grow, we have 4 main varieties: the Murray cypress, the Carolina sapphire, the Virginia pine, and the white pine.
Okay.
The only one native to Georgia is actually the Virginia pine.
Okay.
Ironic enough, but we have the Murray cypress, which is you see behind us here.
That's what we're sitting in here.
That's our #1 seller. We will sell 1,500, maybe 2,000 Murray cypress. They're the quickest grower, so we can turn the field over. The trees we're sitting in now is 4 years old.
That's right. Yep.
And we'll plant them as 1-year-olds, and they'll grow generally 2 to 3 foot a year. We prune them twice a year.
Okay.
We give them haircuts if we're doing field trips and teaching kids that. But they grow the quickest. The pines grow the slowest.
Yeah.
The good thing about the Murray, and the reason they're so popular, is they all look very similar.
Yep.
They grow uniformly. They generally are a fairly healthy tree. They're pretty. They stay green a long time, even after you cut them. The white pine, the Virginia pine, you may plant 1,000 and get 50 that live.
Really?
That are sellable.
Yeah.
Some, they end up making a lot of wreaths, but the people that want the pines, they're not getting anything else other than a pine. And then the Carolina Sapphire are probably the second most popular that we grow. They have a really strong fragrance, good smell, and they grow very similar to a Murray. They're pretty uniform, easy to grow. But the most popular tree ever is the Fraser fir.
Yep.
Unfortunately, we are a couple thousand feet shy of being able to grow them here in elevation.
Okay.
So we have to bring those in from North Carolina. We're thankful that our farm is about 35 miles north of where Hurricane Helene stopped.
I was going to ask about that.
So thankfully, we're going to be able to get our Frasers this year. We have good quantities every year up to 12, 13, 14, 15 feet. So we'll have a good selection from 7 to 12, 13 feet for sure this year. So we're thankful and blessed to be able to get those. So those are still the #1 seller. We usually sell about 50% out of the field and 50% Fraser.
Okay. So the family shows up and grabs a saw. heads out in the field and cuts their own tree here if they want to, or goes in the barn by the Fraser.
Yeah, that's right. So when you show up at the farm, you'll be greeted by probably a couple different people. We'll ask you, do you know what you're looking for? Are you wanting to cut down a tree? Or are you wanting a Fraser? Depending on that answer, we'll say, here's a saw. The trees you can cut down are out in the field. We've got the fields by sizes. So if you show up and say, I'm looking for an 8-foot cypress tree, Murray tree, I'll point you to the exact field you need to be in. And then, if you come in and say, we want a Fraser, they're all set up in the barn. So help yourself, look around. All the Frasers are obviously pre-cut. And we've got those more or less organized by size as well. So if you show up saying, I want a 10-foot Fraser, we'll tell you to walk out the back of the barn, and we got them all displayed outside. But no, it's a good process, and I know, Ben, you've been here.
Yeah, I think
How many years you been coming?
9 years, I think, this year.
That's great.
Yeah.
And Ben's one of those that you used to have the tall ceiling.
We did,
You could get the 12-foot tree, which is set up outside, as I said, and then you leveled off your ceiling.
Yep, cut it in half.
So now it's
I think 9 feet.
okay.
Yeah.
So Ben really needs to be shopping inside the barn, but he still likes to shop outside the barn. He normally still buys
About 12-footer.
tree, and then we cut off about 3 feet. And I'm like, Ben, we could have saved you $100. It's gone in the barn, Whatever. No.
I blame my wife on that one, though.
Right.
Yep.
While you're mad.
Exactly. So roughly 2,000 self-cut, roughly 2,000 Fraser first.
Yeah, that's the goal, and that's where we've kind of been at the last handful of years. Starting out, the first year we sold 200 trees, and that was awesome.
That was, you said mid-90s?
So we started planting in '97.
Okay.
So that, and to sell 200 trees that year might as well have been 2 million. I mean, that was the number for us. Like, you can't go higher. Right. And of course, as we've progressed, as we've gone on, that number's grown, and we're still seeing it. I mean, they're still in it, if it's the county's population or whatever the factor is, we're still growing every year. And so the 4,000 is a good goal to have. 2,000 out of the field, 2,000 Frasers.
Are there any other farms like y'all's around here?
Yeah, so the closest one to us is probably 10 miles away on the other side of 400, Kinsey Family
That's right.
Farm,
Yep.
on Jot 'em Down, and they started a handful of years after us. They've got a great farm. They've got a lot of the same setup as we do, as far as they bring in firs and the field trees they grow as well.
Okay.
So me being a veteran, I like I think it's the Trees for Troops. Can you talk a little bit about that? What you guys do with that?
Yeah. So the Christmas Spirit Foundation, which is based out of Missouri, I believe. Maybe it's Kansas City. But they started the Trees for Troops program 17 years ago, I believe, and we've been a member ever since. The Georgia, as the Christmas Tree Growers Association, has been a member with the T4T is what we call it, but the Trees for Troops program, and since the very beginning. And last year, the state of Georgia donated 604 Christmas trees. The reason I know this is I'm on the board of the Trees for Troops program.
Very
Cool. I'll tell you all the facts on. 604 trees were donated last year. 105 of them came from Bottoms Tree Fall. So, and everybody says that's not really a lot when North Carolina donated 9,000 or 7,000, whatever it was that they donated. North Carolina will sell over 1 million Christmas trees. The state of Georgia, grown Christmas trees.
Right.
Georgia will sell under 100,000 grown Christmas trees. So when you actually compare, according to the Trees for Troops program, when you compare the numbers tree per tree grown in the state and sold in the state, Georgia is actually the leading state for Trees for Troops. But it's all based, to answer your question, what it is we donate trees with the local support of businesses and churches and school systems and individuals and insurance companies and all these businesses that donate to the Trees for Troops program. For every $50 raised, we donate a Christmas tree. And the trees are picked up by FedEx free of charge. FedEx is partnered with Trees for Troops, and they take all the trees that are gathered to the different military bases throughout the state and then throughout the southeast, throughout the country, nationwide.
That's awesome.
I think
That's amazing.
17,000, just under 17,000 was the total number. But all these bases are getting free trees, and they talk about at 5 a.m. when they line up to get them, because there's not enough for everybody on the bases, but everybody lines up to get them, and it's a fun morning at the bases, and anything we can do we love, support, stand behind our military, and thankful for Spencer and all those that are active and retired.
Yeah.
And ultimately played the best, the greatest sacrifice. But we're any way we can help the military is a way we definitely will. We'll get up and go to work to help the military if we can.
That's cool. That's cool.
So I know that period of time between Thanksgiving Day and Christmas is just a marathon. Can you kind of talk me through what you guys' days are like during that time frame?
Coffee and sleep. No, so we were talking about it before. I'll talk pre-Thanksgiving. You talk post-Thanksgiving. Is that good? So leading up to Thanksgiving, we're in it right now. Mom and Dad have worked. We both worked our full-time job today, but now all weekend we'll be, busting it in the barn, trying to get the whole farm set up. We still got a ways to go. We open a week from tomorrow.
Yeah.
So all next week will be set up. From every aspect we need. And then our first delivery comes of Fraser's. That's usually the late nights, and it'll come Wednesday night, generally around 12 or 1 a.m. We'll work 2 or 3 hours, get that thing unloaded. We do a fresh cut on all our Fraser furs. We put them in water, so it's not just unload, throw them in a corner as quick as you can. You're touching every tree 2 or 3 times. So it's a 3-4 hour process to unload 500 or 600 trees. We'll get 4 loads in. We'll get 2 or 3 loads before Thanksgiving. So we'll open Saturday. It'll be a mad rush. We have Santa on the farm, which always brings out, for free family pictures, more customers and especially the younger variety customers. But the before Thanksgiving is, if the weather's like it is today,
Right.
Absolutely
perfect.
It is absolutely perfect. We'll be wide open. We will sell probably 70% by the end of Saturday of Thanksgiving week.
Okay.
So within the opening Saturday to the Saturday after Thanksgiving, we will sell 65-70% of the total trees we'll sell. It's total mayhem.
Yeah.
We do Thanksgiving like 7:30 on Wednesday night.
That's crazy.
Family, because we're open Thanksgiving Day. Because Thanksgiving Day is usually a really big day.
Yeah.
No, and I would say, talking about Thanksgiving Day specifically, that's everybody's got their traditions, what they do, eat turkey and watch football and take a nap. Like me and Nathan, our whole lives, we work on the tree farm. Right. I don't know what I would do.
Yeah.
When my wife and I met, that was one of the first things my mom asked her is, what is your schedule for Thanksgiving and what is your schedule for Christmas? Because we need to make sure that it's going to align with the tree farm. Unfortunately, like Nathan said, we eat with our family on Wednesday night and then with my wife's family on Thursday night. But yeah, and the week of Thanksgiving is huge, and hopefully with the weather, if it's nice, we'll have a great week. And the Friday and Saturday after Thanksgiving especially, I mean, it's just full steam from 7 a.m. until 7 p.m.
How many folks do you have working on the farm?
So on those days, Friday and Saturday, there'll be 45, 50 people total.
Including the wives. You got the wives.
Right. So that's probably 30, 35 guys, most of them, high school, college age, that are, toting the trees, doing a lot of the manual labor. That's the ladies that are making wreaths and running the cash register and doing the concession stand. So in total, there's probably 50 or maybe even a little bit more than that are here on those couple of really big days.
I know my girls, obviously, you're a girl dad right now. You're about to change that up. You got a boy, right, Nathan?
I do.
All right, so you're not part of the group. My girls love coming. They come out here in August, but they like coming out, making s'mores, riding on the tractor, and then just running wild for a minute while I'm out there picking out my 12-foot tree. What all do you guys offer other than trees?
Yeah, so we've got a hayride that runs. It'll run all of Thanksgiving week and then the week after Thanksgiving on Saturdays, weather permitting. As Nathan's already said, we've got Santa out here. The first 3 Saturdays we're open, so that's November 23rd, November 30th, and then December 7th. He's here from 10 to 1, 3 family pictures. Inside the barn, we've got pretty cool shop as far as merchandise, the hats you're wearing.
Got 2 of them, actually.
Shirts and, other homemade jams and jellies and some really good Christmas items, Christmas presents for folks that are, hard to buy for. We've got some kind of knick-knack stuff in there. And then the concession stand, with the food and hot chocolate and ices if it's a warm day to get you slushy. So it's a good time, and that's one thing that we really enjoy. And the farm animals, sorry, Nathan, nature and man. We just built... So Dad thought that the end of October, beginning of November was the perfect time to build the Taj Mahal of chicken. Nathan and Dad have spent the last couple work days building a chicken coop, when we've got the Christmas trees and everything else set up. But we've got a really good looking chicken coop with 14 chickens. We've got a couple of pigs. We've got the horses and cows. And so that's cool to see. You would not believe how many kids come out here that had never seen a
Farm animal.
in real life, and they're like, wow, that's a real pig.
Yeah.
And that's not lost on us, as Nathan's already mentioned, that this is a cool place.
It is.
It's something we can take for granted because we've been here, we've lived here forever. But there's a lot of folks that will come and see us that we're not used to having all the green space here, or not used to seeing the farm animals or the hayride. And so it's cool to see it be a special place, not just for Nathan and I who've lived here and love it, but for customers like your family, Ben, that come to spend time with us every year.
No, it's absolutely incredible. So what we want to do with the podcast, what we shifted to anyway, is really just trying to highlight groups in the community, businesses, whatever the case may be, nonprofits. And this is one of my favorite parts of Forsyth County. It really is. What y'all have going here is just insane. I'm very jealous every time I drive out here with my tree. I know you put in a lot of work and it's not easy, but it's really cool. I mean, you guys are blessed to have this, and I'm blessed to know you get to come enjoy it, but it's just awesome. So good job.
Well, I appreciate it, Ben, and I appreciate you supporting us and all of our friends and customers in the community that do support us. That's how we're able to keep doing it, and our mentality right now is we reinvest a lot in the company to try and make it better, to try to make improvements to the farm, to build a great big chicken coop.
Right.
So we're continuing to try and make it an atmosphere and a space for folks to come out and really enjoy.
That's a pretty good time to throw some shade at Spencer for having a fake tree. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. That's my wife's allergies.
What else you guys think?
So throw that away.
I will do a shameless plug for you guys is wreaths. We bought a couple last year for the office, and they were beautiful.
Yeah, and they last the whole.
Lasted the whole.
The trees. I mean, like I said, we buy the cut Frasers you get in next Wednesday, and so I don't know when they get cut actually, but they last the whole time.
It's the extra step, for sure. All the wreaths that we make actually get dipped in needle hold, which is just another product you can buy to essentially glue the needle to the wreath branches, and it keeps it lasting, keeps it green, keeps it from shedding. And same way with the Christmas trees, doing that fresh cut, putting them in water, you can have a live tree. I'd rather you say you have an artificial tree than a live tree off of an asphalt parking lot. So
Absolutely.
No, I get a live when I'm coming here.
So that makes it feel a little bit better. But it's the little things you see in them, in all the choose and cut farms in Georgia.
Yep.
Everybody's gonna take that extra step and do the little things to make our little community and our businesses be successful. And we're thankful to. I kind of mentioned the growth of Forsyth County earlier. I mean, that's probably one of the biggest benefits is to owning a business in an area where it's growing. And I'm sure you are seeing your law every day.
Yeah, for sure.
As how many subdivisions, how many more people are looking for a Christmas tree, looking for that experience with their family. And we're seeing when me and Matt, when I was younger, I felt like it was all old people that came to the Christmas tree.
Right.
And now I'm seeing Ben and his family and young families and wanting to create that core memory, if you would, or that memory with their kids that they will do year after year. And so the dynamic has changed a little bit. It's a lot younger crowd with small children, and they love it and they have a great time. And so we really try to make it a kid atmosphere.
No, the experience that's what it's about. I mean, I remember growing up as a kid, we went to the farmer's market in South Fulton and just picked out a tree there, and we had a good time. My parents made it a thing, but getting to come out and actually walk around the trees and cut them down and play and see the pigs and chickens. I'm curious to see how many chickens you got left when this is over with. But I mean, it's an experience. That's neat.
It is. It's the experience that we're selling.
Yeah.
The Christmas tree is the bonus. One of our sayings is we will sell you the Christmas tree that'll last the season, but the memories that'll last a lifetime.
Yep. And how does the county, in terms of doing business, I know that Forsyth County adopted, agritourism that allows you guys to run a business on the farm.
I'm going to let the lawyers speak.
Yeah. Bring us back in here to the law talk.
So that was 2021, I think, a couple years ago at least. And basically the county created a new zoning. I don't know if it's technically called a zoning, but a new category called agritourism. And the whole intent behind it was to make it easier for farms like ours to operate a business without having to go through and get variances or permits to do things that may seem commercial in the sense of selling products. That's commercial, but we're talking about agriculture and farm related items. And so that was all county initiated, and there was, I forget how many, maybe 7 or 8 farms that initially in 2021 got that agritourism category. And for us, it cuts out a lot of the red tape of not having to, get the variances or the permits to do a lot of the stuff that really you need to do on the farm. And from the county's perspective, because the county's changed so much, they want to make it easier for farmers. They want to, have farms that are successful.
All right, so talked a lot about the farm, talked about you guys individually. Thought we'd run it into what we like to call the quick fire session, sort of our special segment, and see if we can get rapid fire.
We're about to be in quick fire Christmas trees.
It's a good warm up.
Lead us off, Spence.
All right, so Virginia pine or white pine?
White pine.
Do you want to know why?
Here, y'all both.
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
The white pine it doesn't grow as tall as Virginia pine, but it's a traditional Christmas tree. If you went out in the woods with your grandparents 40, 50 years ago, that's what you cut down was a white pine. They grow in the mountains. Go ahead.
And the white pine is a lot lighter than the Virginia pine. So when you're carrying trees all day, you'd love to see a white pine come through.
That's okay.
We call them, what do we call them? PWPs, pretty white pines.
Pretty white pines.
Steve, they're so lightweight.
All right. Carolina Sapphire or Fraser Fir?
Oh, Fraser fir.
See, I got a little bit of prejudice towards the trees we grow in the sense of, I'm working with them. I love them, so Fraser fir is definitely more popular. I would put a Carolina in my house before I put a Fraser in my house.
We only have Fraser firs in our house.
There you go.
And I don't grow one.
All right.
Mama Bottom's peach butter or apple butter?
So the peach butter is pretty new. I got to go apple butter. Apple butter is the OG classic. Peach butter, she just started, I think, the last year or two. It's good.
The peach butter is good, but that apple butter that's special.
Apple butter's the best.
Straight on a biscuit. Can't beat it. Butter, 100%. It is tried and true, baby.
It is delicious. I just ran out. I told you I ran out. I've got to restock on all of it, so it's good.
I'm serious. We'll have it, Ben.
All right, let's talk about some Braves baseball for a minute because I know you guys are all about it. Nathan, favorite Brave of all time?
Chipper.
Attaboy.
Jones.
Attaboy. Matthew?
I mean, it's hard not to say Chipper. Probably Chipper.
Who was you told me when we were at the game?
Matt
with
Diaz.
Matt
Diaz was my guy. D-I-A-Z.
That's it, Matt Diaz.
Diaz was probably, he's probably my favorite, but like Matt Diaz isn't a Hall of Famer.
Right.
So it's like Chipper Jones. Can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, Chipper's local too. Maybe you'll see him around the farm one day.
There you go.
Braves got to make some moves this offseason. Who's one person you'd like to see become a Brave?
Brady Freeman.
Oh.
Anybody to play shortstop. I can't watch Orlando Arcia again. Love him.
He
but-
looks happy all the time.
right, and
Can't be
and,
mad
and
at
he's I want him to succeed, but it just was not great last year.
Yep, I agree with you there. All right, you guys dog fans?
Yeah.
Georgia Bulldog fans?
Nathan, not so much.
I watched every game this year.
There
All
we
right,
go.
Well, give us a prediction for Saturday versus Tennessee.
Oh, they're getting smoked.
Georgia, Georgia 34, Tennessee 17.
Nathan says they're going down.
I'm going 27. They got lucky last week with a touchdown.
Yeah.
I'm going 27-12.
Okay. Does
Tennessee 27-12.
Carson?
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm a Georgia fan.
Huge Georgia fan.
Huge.
They're about to have 3 losses.
And so then you think they're not making the playoffs? You think?
Oh yeah, they'll beat Tennessee. They'll beat UMass. They'll beat Tech. They'll hopefully host in Athens, win that game. I don't think they're going to win the Natty, but
Tech's going to be a good game this year.
Friday night.
It's been terrible for a few years.
Yeah, it's not going to mess us up for Christmas trees. That's right.
You guys going to have a TD out here?
We definitely have a television.
Okay.
All the big games, come see us. We'll have it on.
I do have a quick story about Nathan really fast. So we were in
I know where this is going.
It was during a revival years ago. We were kids. He came over and stayed over at our house. We were watching the Braves game, and Chipper Jones hit a home
I
run.
remember that. You had Fox Sports Net. We didn't have cable. The only reason I wanted to spend the night was because y'all had Fox Sports Net.
Spritzer. Yeah, it was. Yeah. And he ran around my house screaming, and I was like, "Who is this guy?"
Oh, that's all.
We didn't have cable, and it was a Friday night Fox Sports Net game, and I got to watch it for the first time ever.
He just used me for my KD. What's the last book you read?
We know Nathan about
The last book on Tate? There you go.
Sure, why not?
I don't know. I'm reading Harry Potter with my 9-year-old, so let's go with Harry Potter.
All right.
I don't know if I could tell you, Ben. I start a lot of books. I don't finish a lot of them. I get bored or run out of time before I finish them. So let me get back to you on that one.
Okay.
Some legal thesaurus or something.
Yeah. Some treatise.
We read the sources for fun. They're dry.
Dinner with any historical figure ever. Who would it be and why?
I mean, is there another answer besides Jesus, or is that what you're looking for?
Answer. What's your answer?
I mean, sports figure, probably. I don't know, Babe Ruth or.
We've had Hank Aaron.
Okay. That was Chris Light. I saw that one.
Yep. We've had Daniel Boone and Lewis and Clark, and I think George Washington.
Mm-hmm.
So
Who you got, Nate?
Current or deceased?
it doesn't matter. Your choice.
Other than our next president, probably Jesus. Obviously, would be number one, but probably a sports. Maybe my MJ.
Okay.
I would like to pick MJ's brain.
Okay. That's a good one. That's great. Last meal you ever get to eat, what is it and where's it from?
I'm going definitely from my mom's, either her breakfast she does, or she does some country fried steak that's pretty great. Probably one or the other of those two.
I'm going with good seafood from somewhere and a milkshake. Sure.
I can personally attest that your mother is a fantastic cook.
Thanks. I think so too.
All right. Let's see. What's your favorite vacation spot you've ever visited?
Jekyll Island's where we've always gone, so I love Jekyll. As far as kind of just a one-time place, I really liked Boston. Boston was a cool place to visit. I haven't done a lot of international travel, but in the States, Boston's cool. That's probably number one for me.
I've never done Boston. I want to.
It's a fun place.
Chicago, believe it or not, Chicago was a great trip.
Yep.
My favorite though, Scottsdale, hands down. I love the golf, the food, the community. It's a great, quiet vacation.
I like it.
Yeah, I'd go Scottsdale.
Here, you ask a couple more, and then I'll close it out.
Yeah, I went to Scottsdale back in April. It's
Awesome. We had it planned, and our friends got pregnant with twins this year, so we had to back out of it again for the second time. But we'll go back in a couple of years.
yeah, it's a good place. I'd like to make a yearly trip.
Camelback Mountains is generally where we stay. That area.
Yeah, that's too. What's one item you can't live without?
I mean, can you not say cell phone right now? Yeah, I mean, cell phone probably is what I'm used the most. Nicotine, I mean.
I knew that was coming.
Grizzly. The cell phone was the first thing I thought about. A vehicle, like how are you going to live without a vehicle? So, right. We do love pickup trucks around here.
All right, I'm gonna do one more and I'll hand it off to Ben here. What's your favorite thing to do at the end of a stressful day? Besides work on the Christmas farm.
Yeah, I do like eating ice cream and
What kind of ice cream?
There's a story behind that. Any kind. I am not particular about ice cream. I'll eat any kind of ice cream you got. I do really spend, you joked about it, but working after being inside all day is a great stress reliever for me, coming out here and doing something where I can just turn my phone off and put earbuds in and just kind of mindless work as far as pruning trees or cutting grass. And obviously, spending time with the girls, that helps when you get home from dealing with adults all day, just to come home and be daddy for a few minutes and play with them. So.
Thankfully, working in the shop, I really don't have a stressful day.
Yeah.
If I had to do something, it would be come home and watch the Braves. I mean, that's probably even though that can be very stressful sometimes.
Yeah.
It's still stress relief.
This past season especially.
It is for sure. But just spending time with the kids and the family, ride around, do something. And a lot of times I'll tell you, I go to my shop to relieve stress as well.
Yep.
For sure.
Well, we'll wrap this up so you can go hang some cabinets. Tell everybody where they can tell them about your cabinet shop and the farm. And then you tell us where we can find you at the farm and at the law firm.
B&B Cabinets, check me out on Facebook and Instagram. Ain't nothing. It's a lifetime hobby, full-time side hustle. Like Ben said, I'm here till 1, 2 a.m. a lot of nights. Come by the shop and see us. He's right out in front of the farm. But more importantly, check us out, Bottoms Tree Farm. www.bottomstreefarm.com, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, our phone number, call us. We'd love to have you come out this Christmas season. Farm's open Saturday, November the 23rd, and will be open until Friday, December the 20th. Matthew's birthday and Mom's birthday is December 21st, so they will not let us open that day.
All right.
We never work on Mom's birthday per mom.
7 days a week?
No, we're closed on Sunday.
Closed on Sunday.
We're like Chick-fil-A. Come get us on Saturday because we're not open on Sunday.
There you go.
But we are open all day Saturday, 9 to 6, and then all of Thanksgiving week, we're 9 to 6, Monday through Saturday, including Thanksgiving Day. And then after Thanksgiving week, the first 3 weeks of December, we're Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. till dark. Hay rides, bonfires, s'mores, concessions, farm animals, most importantly, Christmas trees, the memories that'll last a lifetime of the tree that'll last the season.
Absolutely. All right. Well,
That was perfect. That was fantastic.
perfect.
Yeah.
Now ruin it with lawyer talk.
Come see us at the farm. We hope to see you out here. We love Bottoms Tree Farm. We appreciate y'all coming out here, and hope this was a successful site visit for your first time. And then legally, Bowl and Rice LLC is the name of the firm I'm at. It's in downtown Cumming. If you need any assistance with real estate related matters or estate planning or probate, reach out. We're happy to help you there. That's bowlingrice.com, or as Nathan's already said, bottomstreetfarm.com.
Perfect. Well, thank you guys. And as always, you can find us bettismusgrove.com, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Bettis Musgrove, and hear this podcast on anywhere you get your podcast. So go check us out. Until next time, you guys stay healthy and God bless.